Imagine walking into a corner soda fountain in the early 1900s. The marble counters shine, glass bottles line the shelves, and a soda jerk in a crisp white apron whirls behind the counter. Instead of ordering a Coke or a Sprite, you might ask for a cherry phosphate, a foamy egg cream, or a frosty glass of sarsaparilla. These drinks once defined America's thirst for refreshment, but today most of us have never even heard their names. Join me as we explore forgotten drinks, from egg creams to phosphates, and discover the flavors, traditions, and stories that time left behind. The lost world of drinks before bottled sodas dominated the market. America's favorite place to grab a drink was the soda fountain. From the mid-1800s through the mid-1900s, these shops were more than places to get refreshments. They were community gathering spots, teenage hangouts, and symbols of modernity. The drinks they served were creative, often strange by today's standards, and incredibly popular. From fizzy tonics that promised health to sweet concoctions whipped up by skilled soda jerks, each had a story. Let us step back in time and rediscover 10 of the most iconic forgotten drinks. 1. Egg cream, the king of New York soda fountains. Despite its name, the egg cream contains no egg and no cream. Instead, it is a fizzy, frothy mix of milk, seltzer, and chocolate syrup. Invented in New York in the early 1900s, this drink became a symbol of the city's soda fountain culture. The magic was in the texture. When poured correctly, the soda jerk would create a foamy head on top, almost like a beer. Imagine sitting at a counter in Brooklyn, watching the bubbles rise as the sweet chocolate mixed with cool milk and fizzy seltzer. It was refreshing, light, and cheap, perfect for kids and teenagers. The egg cream faded as soda fountains disappeared, but in some corners of New York it is still proudly served as a taste of the past. 2. Phosphates. The original fizzy kick phosphates were once the most popular drink in America. Made with carbonated water, flavored syrups, and a touch of phosphoric acid, they had a tangy, slightly sour kick that set them apart from modern sodas. Cherry, lemon, and chocolate phosphates were favorites, often ordered with lunch at drugstore counters. The fizz was sharper, the taste brighter, and the experience unique. Customers loved watching the soda jerk mix the syrup, pump the seltzer, and stir it with flair. By the 1950s, bottled sodas overtook phosphates, and their tart sparkle faded from menus. 3. Sarsaparilla, the cowboy's drink. If you picture an Old West saloon, you might think of whiskey. But many saloons also served sarsaparilla, a soft drink made from the root of the sarsaparilla plant. Its flavor was similar to root beer, earthy and slightly spicy. For those who wanted to look tough at the bar but did not drink alcohol, sarsaparilla was the perfect choice. In dime novels and old movies, cowboys often ordered it with a wink. Today, it survives only as a novelty in some specialty shops. 4. Shrubs, the colonial refresher. Long before soda fountains, Americans enjoyed Shrubs drinks made from fruit, vinegar, sugar, and water. Shrubs had a tangy bite that made them refreshing in the summer. Farmers used them as a way to preserve fruit, and taverns often mixed them with spirits.
Ow.
By the 1800s, Shrubs were common in households, often served over ice. Their bold sweet and sour flavor has recently had a revival among craft cocktail makers, but for most of the 20th century, they were forgotten. 5. Moxie, the first mass-market soda. Before Coca-Cola, there was Moxie, invented in the 1870s as a medicinal tonic. Moxie became America's first mass-produced soft drink. Its flavor was bitter, herbal, and unique, made with gentian root, giving it a medicinal aftertaste. People either loved it or hated it. Moxie was so popular in New England that Moxie entered the English language as a synonym for grit and determination. Though it still exists in small markets today, its heyday as a national drink has passed. 6. Malted milkshakes, sweet science in a glass. Malted drinks, or malts, were another soda fountain classic. They used malted milk powder, a mix of malted barley, wheat flour, and evaporated milk, to add a nutty, creamy flavor to milkshakes. Malts became wildly popular in the 1920s and 30s, especially among teenagers. Ordering a chocolate malt at the soda fountain was part of American dating culture. Today, you can still find malts in some diners, but for most, they are a forgotten cousin of the modern milkshake. 7. Celery tonic, the soda that surprised. One of the strangest forgotten drinks is celery soda, often called cel-ray. Introduced in the late 1800s, it combines celery seed extract with sugar and carbonation. It was marketed as both a refreshing soft drink and a digestive aid. The taste was slightly herbal, sweet, and crisp unusual, but beloved by many. While it still exists in niche markets, it is far from the popularity it once enjoyed. 8. Ice cream sodas. The original float. Imagine a scoop of vanilla ice cream dropped into a tall glass of root beer or cola. Today we call it a float, but in the early soda fountain days, it was known as an ice cream soda. Invented in the late 1800s, it became one of the most fun and indulgent treats at the soda fountain. The fizz mixed with the creamy ice cream to create frothy bubbles that spilled over the rim. It was messy, sweet, and utterly delightful. 9. Birch beer. The forest in a bottle similar to root beer, but made from birch bark. Birch beer had a woodsy, slightly minty flavor. Popular in the northeastern United States, it was sold both as a soda fountain drink and bottled refreshment. Children loved its unique taste, and adults found it cooling on a hot day. Today, it lingers in Pennsylvania Dutch country, but has largely disappeared elsewhere. 10 tonic drinks and elixirs, the medicinal craze in the 1800s. Soda fountains often doubled as pharmacies. Many drinks were marketed as tonics or health elixirs, promising to cure ailments from headaches to indigestion. Coca-Cola and Pepsi both began this way, as did countless forgotten drinks flavored with herbs, roots, and spices. People genuinely believed their glass of bubbly refreshment was good medicine. By the mid-20th century, regulations ended many of these claims, and the stranger tonics vanished. The role of the soda jerk was as important as the drinks themselves. With their white uniforms, bow ties, and showmanship, they mixed drinks with flare-pulling soda handles, stirring syrups, and topping off glasses with a flourish. They were part entertainer, part chemist, and part community figure. For many teenagers, hanging out at the soda fountain and chatting with the soda jerk was the highlight of the day. Cultural impact of forgotten drinks. These drinks shaped American life in ways we forget today. They created social spaces where young people gathered. They inspired the modern soft drink industry. They reflected the era's fascination with health, novelty, and flavor. They offered affordable luxuries during hard times. Egg creams, phosphates, malts, and shrubs were not just drinks. They were rituals, symbols of modern life, and tastes of community. Why they disappeared by the 1960s, bottled sodas and fast food chains overtook soda fountains. Drinks that required preparation and skilled soda jerks could not compete with prepackaged bottles and cans. Advertising focused on Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and other giants, leaving phosphates and shrubs to fade away. Convenience replaced ritual, as production replaced creativity, and the unique flavors of America's soda fountain era were forgotten. From the fizz of a cherry phosphate to the foamy head of a chocolate egg cream, these forgotten drinks once defined America's thirst for refreshment. They were not just beverages, they were moments. Shared at counters, passed between friends, sipped on hot summer days. Though most of them have vanished, their legacy remains in every milkshake, every soda, every float we enjoy today. So tell me, if you could step into a 1920s soda fountain right now, what would you order? The sarsaparilla, the malt, or maybe a tangy phosphate? Let me know in the comments.